Hi everybody, Wendy from The Spiritually Curious here. Now before Christmas, I treated myself to a brand new Oracle card deck and Beyond Lemuria. And if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I was, just before Christmas when I was working on my spiritual side, I was really drawn to Lemuria. I got the card a couple of times out of Rebecca Campbell's Oracle deck. I had a Lemurian crystal pop up on my For You page, which I ended up buying. And then I was in a shop and I saw this deck. It was kind of like hidden away, wasn't particularly looking for a card deck at the time. So I saw it as a sign that this was something that I needed. And one of the images on the back, I don't know if you can see it, but I think it was that image there, was actually very similar to an image that I had had in my head when I was doing a meditation to connect with my spirit guides. So I already feel really connected to this deck, but I wanted to take you through my process of what I do when I get a new card deck. So let's get into it. Now the hardest part is usually peeling off the cellophane, but I cheated and actually started off with a knife, so that was pretty easy to do. So before I open the deck, I will actually use some incense and I will just cleanse around the box a few times, and usually in my head I am saying a mantra or just repeating the words, I cleanse this deck of any energy that is negative, that has attached itself in any way and is not here to serve me, my guides, or the greatest good of the universe. And I just repeat that in my head a few times while going around with the incense smoke. And now, for the exciting part, because I've never seen inside this deck, is to open it up and have a look what's inside. So here we go. It's just a plain box, paper. We have the guidebook and we have the cards. Good size cards, pretty standard I think for Oracle cards. We've got the Earth Star chakra as the first one, which is really quite pertinent as I'm doing a lot of work with chakras at the moment. So what I tend to do first is I will just take this off, and then I'm going to use my incense smoke again and just do a bit of a cleanse of the cards, kind of repeating the words that I did before, that I cleanse these cards of any and all energies that are not meant for me, that are not here to serve my highest purpose and the greatest good for all. And then what I do is I slowly go through the deck, and I like to make sure that I touch every card. And I love these. Actually, I didn't know when I bought these cards, but they actually have all the chakras in there. And I've just completed a course on chakra healing, which is a service I now offer in my business. So that's just beautiful. I love that. You might be able to see that, just the absolute joy on my face. I had no idea that this actually, I should have read the back a bit more, hey, but I didn't realise that this actually had the chakras in there. So this is already something that I know I'm going to be using a lot. So I'll just flick through all the cards, just having a look at the imagery. Oh my God, that's the goddess I dreamed of. Yeah, just having a quick flick through, making sure I touch each and every card. And this is the way I work with the deck. Just to get my energies into the deck, I make sure that I touch and look at each card, just quickly flicking through the deck. Look at that one, isn't that beautiful? Really, really pretty cards. I will do a quick flick through actually for you. I will just carry on flicking through the cards. Oh my gosh, I love, love, love this. I think this is going to be my go-to card deck, I think, for the next few reads that I do. So I'm sure if you follow me, you're going to see this popping up on my page a few times, because I feel like this is destined for me. This is the card that I should be doing readings. So I'm going to flick through this again. So this is a great way. You flick through a few times. And normally what I do is the flick through 2 or 3 times. And then on the last flick through, I'd actually keep my journal with me. And I would kind of like ground myself and center myself and just hold each card, and any card that kind of like really just jumps out to me or speaks to me, or for me, when I'm connected with my intuition, I get like a little funny feeling in my tummy. I actually literally just got that feeling when I touched that card there. So that's going to go there because I feel like I need to look at that card a little bit closer. So anything that you kind of get that intuitive hit from, I tend to just take that card, take a few minutes just to note down, just to journal what it is that came through from that card, what feelings I get from that card, what's resonated with me. And this is before I've even picked up the guidebook. It's just that way of just really becoming familiar with the cards and the feelings that they give you. And yeah, just, have you seen this? Like, this is just absolutely gorgeous. Really, really loving the imagery of this deck. Wow. Oh my God, that's beautiful. And that one. I love the geometric kind of shapes. That would make an awesome tattoo, don't you think? And that one. And that one with the wings. Oh my gosh. So if you don't know, my dad was really sick a few weeks ago and actually sadly passed away last week. And I've been really wanting to get a tattoo, and that one with the wings, I think that's going to be my tattoo. That one just really jumped out and spoke to me. So that's the first thing that I do. I flick through the cards, kind of like start to imbue my energy. Take a quiet moment just to look at each card as I'm flicking through, really pull out any that speak to me, any that jump out to me as having a real, connection with, and just journal what I feel has connected me to that. The next thing I do that I think is really important, and something that a lot of people miss, is I read the guidebook. Now, I don't mean I read it from cover to cover, but at the beginning of most guidebooks, they will talk to you about where they got their inspiration from the cards, and this is the author or the creator of the cards. They will talk to you about the process that they went through, and all that kind of thing. And I think that just gives you a deeper understanding of the cards and kind of understands the energy that the creator used to create that deck. I do use the guidebook meaning sometimes. I prefer to start off with what intuitively comes through for me. And then if I don't feel as though I've really gotten the answer that I was looking for, or if I feel that there's something missing, then I always refer back to the guidebook. I know a lot of people think that it's cheating if you go through the guidebook. I don't prescribe to that. I think that the guidebook has some great insights, and sometimes we can be so stuck in our head and so stuck in what we believe the message is that we need to hear, that sometimes we need an independent third party to actually say, yes, but have you thought of it from this perspective? So that's something that really guidebooks are great for, is just giving you a different perspective. And it might not resonate, but 9 times out of 10, the message is usually pretty spot on, and it's a way to deepen your connection with the cards, to deepen the connection with your intuition by using the guidebook. Remember that you've already been attracted to this deck. Your intuition has already guided you towards the deck that you have. So using the guidebook is not a cheat. It's, your intuition has called you to this deck. So using the guidebook, perfectly normal, perfectly reasonable. And this one is just in black and white, which, a lot of them are, which is cool. It's kind of just, a normal papery feel, but there's lots of information in this. So those are kind of like the first few things that I do. And the next thing that I do before I do a reading for myself, and I always start off with doing readings for myself with new decks, is to shuffle the deck. Give it a really good shuffle. You want to really mix it up. You can spend a good 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long feels right for you to shuffle the deck. And the idea of this is that the more that you handle your deck, the more time you spend with your deck, the more your energies are going to imbue themselves into those cards, and the more accurate your readings are going to be for yourself. Now, if you're going to use a deck to do readings for other people, I always recommend that you cleanse your deck before any readings, whether it's a reading for yourself or somebody else. Please, 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 please always remember to cleanse your deck. You can use incense, you can use meditation, you can use crystals. If it's a new deck, I often, once I feel like I've got my energies in there enough, I will actually sit them on a selenite slab that I have and leave it on a selenite slab for a couple of hours. And then I will start off by just doing single card readings, just to really get a feel of the deck, just to get to know the cards, just to get to know that the meanings that the cards have for me. And again, referring to the guidebook. And if you saw my earlier video on my Oracle journal, it's really great for going through this process, because there is this place to record the card that you've pulled, your interpretation and the guidebook's interpretation, and a place for you to come back and reflect on whether that message was accurate or not. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed this little look through the Lemurian Oracle Guide deck. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.